Cold weather certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll begin the drive with a run by Dillon. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. This is Dillon on the counter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Steelers at 8-1 on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, here's Mills. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Rodgers to throw. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. This defense for the Steelers, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson. Well, these two teams met in Pittsburgh earlier in the year, with the Steelers prevailing in that one. So if they can win here in Pittsburgh, they'd be able to claim the season sweep. Here's Rodgers. Hunter hit. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Mills now. It's Williams on the catch. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Mills. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it. And that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Mills to throw for it on 4th. They'll find Williams on the slant. And he is going to have the Steelers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Dillon now off the option. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 47 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll run here with Dillon. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Dillon now off the option. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. And that's on big Mekhi Becton, first-round pick in 2020. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Mills to throw it. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
Interested to see what they dial up here. 3rd and goal with a lot of green between them and the end zone. Throwing, Mills. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Jeff Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. They did get helped out by the open week last week, and in talking with him, all indications were, Charles, that was a very helpful break.
Yeah, I know a lot of teams, coaches, they hate taking time off in the midst of a losing streak because they think they have to stay on their toes and punch their way out of it. But occasionally, you get that open week, you step back, evaluate what's been going wrong, see what you can put in that can move you forward, and maybe you get a chance to breathe a little bit and kind of start over.
He's got Brown on the out route complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. First and 10, Taylor now. No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Now Rodgers. Got a man, that's Richie James. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Oh, I see you nodding your head along with me, partner, because it's pretty obvious what they were trying to do there on the drag route. With his speed, they're hoping he can turn the corner and maybe take this to the house. But that was excellent work defensively to make sure once he caught it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now first and 10. On the counter, it's Taylor. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Rodgers going to throw. Complete. It's Henry. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards there and a Bengal first. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Quick slant to Brown. Touchdown! Marquise Brown, 26 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from drawing level. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They run once more with Dillon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Mills. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at the 18. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive. And which side can step up and assert its will over the other?
Now a play fake. Rodgers. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Mecole Hardman, 48 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Gonzalez now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Got his man. It's Williams. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Of course, he was solid last week. AFC Offensive Player of the Week award. 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, he's playing at a level right now where he's just breaking down defenses. Makes me remember when I was playing and my defensive back coach told me, listen, if you give up a touchdown pass, that's on me. I didn't coach you well enough. If you give up a second one, that's on you. And if there's a third one, I'm getting someone else in the game.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he will have a Steelers first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 1st and 10, Mills goes right back to Smith again. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, it typically...
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bengals force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Rodgers. On the out route, he finds Hardman. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. To throw, it's Rodgers. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Rodgers to throw once more. Out left and hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Gonzalez's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Dillon now on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Bengals drive about to get going. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here. That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one. So now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Got his man complete over the middle. That's 45-yard line. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half, Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try to get back to where you were to start the half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They run again with Dillon. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Mills. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They give to Dillon out of the gun. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right?
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. Up the middle they run. Here's Dillon. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw is Mills. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Mills now. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Trey Hendrickson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I can dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. And they're not going to get the kick off in time. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Rodgers now to throw. His throw incomplete.
Had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Where they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Running left, Taylor. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They run once more with Taylor. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked them off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
We got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Mills on first down. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. If they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mills over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 26. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run.
And in for the Steelers touchdown. Devontae Smith from 21 yards away. And the Steelers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Elliott good on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
63 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, Above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And the defense on him quickly there as they stop him at the 40 for a gain of just 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And some room to maneuver. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
On the handoff, Taylor to the 27-yard line.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the thing, get in behind us, and let's go.
Their time to shine. And they will take a knee here. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati.